what if you could force someone to love you? Just set yourself up with your crush, skip the awkward phases, and skip straight to happily ever after. That's exactly what Finn tries in this episode, but when he meddles with love, even in a tiny fantasy world, he learns the hard way. Love that's forced will never last. It starts like any other day in the land of Ooh. Finn is asking questions he's not ready to answer. He's sitting with Jake, watching the sunset, wondering if love is supposed to feel logical.
Hey Jake, do you think you should date someone just like you? Or someone who's like, your opposite?
Jake keeps it simple. Love's not about compatibility, it's about what your heart wants.
It's all about the bumps in your heart.
That should have been the end of it, but Finn can't let go. He's stuck in his own head and starts throwing out random pairings like BMO and Ice King being together, trying to make sense of something that's never made sense to him. And that's where the real story starts.
Oh, I see. You're being weird.
It's not that weird, come on.
Because while he's trying to understand love from the outside, someone else is listening in. Magic Man. As for him, there's nothing funnier than watching someone get exactly what they think they want. So he gives Finn a gift. Or maybe a curse. He whispers the words,
"Do what thou will be the whole piece of law,"
and tugs a bag into Finn's shorts, enchanted, subtle, completely unexplained. It sounds like nonsense, but it's not. It's a twisted echo of an ancient idea, the foundation of Telamon, a philosophy built on the belief that every person has their own path, their own destiny, and real happiness comes from following it, not someone else's, your own. And just as important, no one has the right to rewrite another person's destiny. And that's exactly what's in the bag, a pocket-sized world where Finn gets to decide who loves who, where every relationship can be tested, rearranged, perfected. And sure, it's played off like a joke at first, but the truth cuts deeper. Finn's fascinated by love, but also confused by it, embarrassed by it, maybe even scared of it. So when he's handed a safe little sandbox where he can control everything and nothing can go wrong, that's perfect, right? Well, we're about to see. First, Jake has to point out to Finn he has something in his pants.
Hey, what's that in your pants?
Which to me sounded like an innuendo that Finn has a hard-on after thinking about pairing all his friends together in romantic relationships.
What? Not again?
But Jake is probably just talking about the bag. Puberty does interesting things to your mind. Anyway, they discover that bag and treat it like they're 10 beers in at a pub on a Friday night. So they empty it at their house. Inside are miniature versions of themselves and all of their friends. BMO, Princess Bubblegum, LSP, even Ice King. Tiny figurines with tiny quirks. Mini Jake plays his viola. Mini Finn dances. Mini BMO struggles to stand upright like a broken Roomba. And at first, it's pretty innocent, harmless, a funny little discovery. But it doesn't take long before Finn starts sorting the characters like a kid building a toy shelf. The ones he deems boring or irrelevant, back in the bag.
C-listers, go back in the bag.
He literally calls them C-listers, including Tiffany, which even Jake finds rude. Then he exclaims that Lady Rainicorn is pregnant, which gives the first hint where this episode is headed.
Whoa, what kind of narrative are you trying to create here?
But the moment that shifts everything, Finn hears Jake say the word chemistry.
Chemistry.
And suddenly it clicks. Romance, potential, possibility. Finn stops seeing the little puppets as toys and starts seeing them as test subjects. This isn't just about fun anymore. This is about control, about experimentation. If he can figure out who belongs with who here in his perfect little sandbox, maybe he can finally understand how love works in real life. No rejection, no awkwardness, just clean, controlled outcomes. So later that night, while Jake sleeps, Finn begins testing. He pairs characters together just to see what happens. Mr. Cupcake and LSP? Unexpectedly passionate. It catches him off guard, but it also excites him. So he pushes further. He removes LSP and grabs Lady Rainicorn, even giving a little guilty glance at Jake before he does it, because he knows what he's doing. He's about to rewrite someone else's love story. And he does. He forces Lady Rainicorn into Mr. Cupcake's arms. They start kissing. Then he brings in Mini Jake, who walks in on the two of them. And what happens next? Exactly what you'd expect. A breakup, a fight, chaos. But instead of learning from that, instead of realizing he's gone too far, Finn goes all in. He dumps out the entire bag and stares at them like a mad scientist who just found infinite test subjects. If he can't make sense of love in real life, maybe he can control it here. And if he has to break a few tiny hearts to do it, so be it. It's easy to watch this and think it's just Finn being weird, but there's something deeply relatable underneath. Because when love confuses us, when it doesn't go the way we want, there's a part of us that wants this kind of power. We want to rewrite the script, swap people around, fix what went wrong. We want to skip the messy parts and just get to the version of the story where we're loved the way we imagine. Finn's not playing with toys anymore. He's trying to solve a feeling by controlling people. But love isn't a logic puzzle. It's not a system you can hack or a game you can win. The moment you treat people like pieces on a board, you're no longer looking for love. You're just trying to feel safe. And that never ends well, as we'll see with Finn. The next morning, things have escalated.
You're up early.
I didn't sleep.
While Jake makes breakfast, Finn is still knee-deep in his own version of romance science. And it's not subtle. Mini Jake is curled up, alone and miserable, inside the pages of a self-help book, which, on a side note, is called Mind Games and is actually written by JT Dogzone, who is actually Jake himself. But shit is about to go down as Finn has not only broken Jake and Mini Lady Rainicorn up while he was sleeping, but he also paired her with Mini Finn now, proudly referring to him as the cool guy she's dating. Yes, he broke up his miniature version of his best friend and his girlfriend so that he can become his best friend's girlfriend's lover. That's a bit messed up, man. Jake sees it, and it hits him. This isn't pretend anymore. Finn's taken someone Jake actually loves and used her like a prop in a fantasy where he gets the girl.
Ah! What the ball, man?
And it's not just that. Mini Marceline is obsessively licking Peppermint Butler. Turtle Princess is spanking Zergiok, and Lollipop Girl is dating both Choose Goose and Abracadaniel at the same time. Nice. Jake tries to brush it off, but he's disturbed, not just by what Finn's doing, but by how casual he is about it. So Jake does the only thing he can. He leaves.
I don't like where you're going with this. It ain't wholesome. I'm going to go to Ladies for a few days. Clear my head.
He says he's going to stay with Lady until he can process it all, because how do you explain to your best friend that playing God with your girlfriend, even a tiny version of her, or fantasizing about dating her, crosses a line? And that's when things really spiral. Like, really spiral. Like, criminal record level spiral. Finn is alone now. No one to question him. No one to pull him back. So he tries something new. He sets up Mini Finn with Mini Flame Princess. It's awkward at first. They sit in silence. She looks bored. But then Finn nudges him closer, shares a cookie between them, makes them chew it at the same time. A moment that looks uncomfortably close to kissing. And just like that, they connect. Until he ruins it again. He throws Princess Bubblegum into the mix, makes her massage Finn. They start kissing. Now 2 princesses are into him. Now they're fighting over him. One sets the other on fire. Tears are used as a weapon. The tiny world is literally burning over him. And Finn? He watches it all unfold, blushing. Because deep down, this is what he wanted. To be wanted, to be the prize, to be the one competed over, to be the one that they want. It's easy to call this immature, and it is, but it's also painfully honest. Because when we feel powerless in love, sometimes we retreat into fantasy, where we get to be the hero, where no one rejects us, where we're always the one worth fighting over. But that's not love, that's projection. And the longer you stay there, the more disconnected you become from the real thing. 16 weeks pass. Jake returns to find the tree fort an absolute wreck.
I got over all that messed up stuff you did.
Food containers, laundry, books, all piled around Finn, who hasn't changed clothes in over 3 months. He's still in his pajamas, still obsessing. And the world he built? It's broken. Minnie Marceline has nearly erased Peppermint Butler with her constant licking. Zergiok is in agony from non-stop spanking. Minnie Lollipop Girl is tangled in a mess of polyamorous confusion. Flame Princess, Rainicorn, Bubblegum, all devastated in their own ways. And Minnie Finn?
He looks sad. What's he thinking about?
He's climbed to the top of a book, now posing at the same cliff where the real Finn started this whole journey. He just stares into the distance, numb, detached, ruined. Finn sees it all, and for the first time, it hits him. He didn't just observe, he didn't just experiment, he caused this. He broke up love, forced fake passion, played puppeteer with people's feelings, all because he was too afraid to face how messy real emotions can be. And now, with everything around him crumbling, he finally understands. You can't force love, not even in the world you build for yourself. Because the truth is, love isn't something you can design. It doesn't blend to your timeline, it doesn't follow your rules, and it definitely doesn't show up just because you're ready for it. Finn tries to curate connections like a playlist. He tries to deserve love by organizing it, managing it, controlling it, as if affection were something you could earn by pulling just the right strings. But love isn't earned by control. It's revealed through vulnerability, through uncertainty, through letting go of what you think should happen and facing what actually does. And the longer you avoid that, the lonelier you get. Because all the little people in the world can't make you feel whole if you're only talking to yourself. This is the moment Finn realizes it wasn't just the little people's lives he ruined. It was his own ability to be present, to connect, to grow, to let love happen without fear. Only now does he see what Magic Man had really given him. Not a toy, not a shortcut or an experiment, but a mirror. With his little world in shambles and the weight of what he'd done finally setting in, Finn decides it's time to put things right.
No, man, I gotta fix this mess. Look at me, man. I'm staring into the shadow of my darkest mind hole. I gotta help it.
Jake suggests a solution. If the little people exist on a different frequency, maybe Finn just needs to shake things up. So he does. Finn grabs his tiny self and shakes him, faster and faster. You know, like any teenage boy after imagining their relationships in their heads. Just grab your tiny self and start shaking it. And then he appears as a god being in the sky in the world of the little people. It's pretty absurd, but, you know, it works. And in that fleeting moment of connection, Finn apologizes. He tells Minifin the truth.
I made you do those crummy things. I'm why you guys is fighting. I'm the big you. I came to apologize. I will never interfere with your lives again.
And ends with, I'm not coming back. It's the same phrase Magic Man used when dropping the bag into Finn's life.
I'm not coming back.
But now it means something different. This isn't a curse, it's a vow. A commitment to let go and let others live without interference. He visits the others next. He admits what he did.
Hey, ladies! This is Big Finn! I caused all the problems! It wasn't anyone's fault! Don't be mad at each other! Have a dance party!
He says they don't have to fight anymore. And instead, he invites them to a dance party. Because if he can't fix what he broke, maybe he can give them space to start again on their own terms. And one by one, they agree. They dance. They forgive. Even the C-listers come back, the ones Finn tossed aside at the start. And somewhere in that crowd, Bimo and Ice King are dancing together. A little callback to the question that started all this. Would they make a good couple? Turns out, maybe. It's a quiet, silly, beautiful ending. And it's the first moment of real connection Finn's had in weeks. Because in the end, this was never about who ends up with who. It was about the cost of control, and how trying to force love only pushes it further away. Finn didn't get answers, but he did get perspective. Sometimes love isn't something you figure out, it's something you respect, even when it doesn't go your way. And maybe that's when it finally has a chance to become real. All it takes is to take a step back, shake your little man, and hit yourself with post-nut clarity to see if it's actual love or just hormones. And if you thought this was the only time Finn tried to control how people saw him, think again. Because earlier, he took things even further. He doesn't just force love, he forces himself to change, to act smarter, to seem better, to impress someone who never asked him to. So, if you want to see what happens when Finn stops playing God and starts losing himself, watch the episode where Finn pretends to be someone else and what it teaches. It's a different kind of heartbreak, with a different lesson underneath. See you there.